Shalom, or praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles at GreatMillStone. This is another one, man. The UK, there was a so-called a terrorist false flag attack that happened today, and people are getting used to them, but the Lord's opening up, man. One sec, man. Right, the Lord's opening up, and just to get to the point, my thoughts all over the place at the moment. But the Lord is opening up, man. But basically, the terror threat level has been raised up to the highest level, and I'm gonna play some of this clip. But the last time this happened not long ago. Because you had all types of mad things going on in London and Manchester as well. Bombings and people getting run over in the name of what Esau calls terrorism. Then basically you had this operation where the police were going around kicking people's doors off, dragging people out of the house. Because the UK is under the highest threat level, which means that an attack, they basically say attack's going to happen. It's imminent, like any minute now. Basically the attack is going to happen within the next hour, a couple of hours. So this attack happened today, and what we're seeing now, and I'm gonna get the scriptures out, but what we're seeing now is Esau. You don't know what the hell Esau is gonna do next, because this is all that martial law. England, really, Britain is a martial law state, man. The most cameras in the whole world, starting down there in London. That frog. But let me play this and then I'm going to carry on. Man.
As darkness fell this evening, a tube train stood still on the track in West London. It is the scene of a terrorist attack, and one that has given the government reason to change its assessment of the terror threat.
I said earlier today that the national threat level was being kept under review. The Joint Terrorism Analysis Centre, that's the independent organisation which is responsible for setting the threat level on the basis of available intelligence, has now decided to raise the national threat level from severe to critical. This means that their assessment is that a further attack may be imminent.
The police are still looking for the person or persons behind this morning's attack. Tonight they explained what a change in the threat level will mean.
Whilst we chase down the suspects, as the public would expect, we're strengthening our policing resources on the streets of London and indeed across the country whilst continuing the investigation. The public should expect to see extra police resources, armed and unarmed on the streets, additional stop and search using counter-terrorism.
Let me pause, yeah. The last time it happened, which was a couple of months ago, we did videos on it, and they had army personnel in just casually. That's what it did, if I'm not mistaken. They had they had the armed forces and special forces just patrolling and kicking, and people's doors getting kicked off, people getting dragged. The amount of reports that come out that there were people that weren't even involved in that there was just fault that they weren't even involved. Some people you don't even know, they just got dragged. That's the last you heard of, but he actually wasn't part of it, but they just got dragged up and that's all you heard.
Hours and potentially additional road checks on the roads.
It was during rush hour this morning.
Right, so I'm gonna go to the scriptures, because like this is all part of Jacob's trouble, because you got innumerable amount of tribes or Jakes over in England, and the Lord's open up. This is 1 Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. And we're going through the stages of the signs of what's going to happen right before the Lord comes and smashes Esau's kingdom. Because these devils, when they're doing all these false flags, they're trying to get, they want Jake exterminated, they want that New World Order, RFID chip, and Mark of the Beast RFID chip, and police state, one world government. And we keep telling you this because they're fucking doing it now. You got these fucking monkeys calling themselves ISUPKs. And they're running around saying the mark of the beast saying the shit. How fucking stupid can you be, bro? I don't give a fuck how loud you get on the fucking mic. How the fuck can't you see that, bro? How the fuck? Anyway. It says, for when, this is First Thessalonians 5:3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So we're not in the time of peace. You got people, you got Trump in, and they were saying he's trying to make peace with the Russians and all that. And what you gotta understand is, with war, when it comes to war, a lot of these countries are trying to negotiate. Because once you shoot the missiles, mate, it's like Russia, for example, Putin. The Lord's put a war spirit in them, but they're not just like, they're still, it's like it's a big chess moves. The war, we're in the midst of the war. America ain't letting off. Trump ain't gonna let off. But these nations, Esau's a serpent, the crusher, double crusher. But the Lord's gonna make that world war happen anyway. I mean, the war's happening right now. China, Russia, and them have already got their unions against America. They're always cursing America out. There's no way around it. And when we're seeing things like this, demonized, basically the whole thing with England is they're saying that England ain't got the right security measures. Even though it's the most watched place, people are still able to do all these things. So what they got to do, they want people to be completely, they want armed police, they want army troops on the streets, man. They want people to be curfewed in. Basically, they want it to where you can't leave your house until they tell you to. Completely. That's part of that New World Order. You're a complete slave. Like how that Jake's in slavery. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. So we got our eyes open, but you got other fucking niggas that they ain't even telling you about these prophecies. They ain't even telling you about this. A lot of them dudes, they're worried about is when if a 2/3 gets shot. What if a 2/3 got shot? Maybe he was supposed to get fucking shot. Okay? Well, do you want to take the bullet from you fucking idiots? These guys are wicked. And they're getting what they deserve. The Lord ain't playing. So back to the topic anyway. Back to the topic, man. Basically, man, this is why you got to be vigilant, because the scriptures, we're not of the night, we're of the light, we're the day. We got to keep our eyes open.
When there was a small explosion on that tube train as it made its way into the city. These pictures were filmed a few minutes afterwards. Flames are emerging from a bucket wrapped in a supermarket carrier bag. It is an improvised explosive device.
The heat was so intense and the fireball just engulfed the whole tube carriage. Like the whole carriage was orange, just like coming towards us.
The streets around the station were quickly filled with the sound of sirens. The priority for the armed response units was to identify and contain any further threat to life.
These are just fucking bunch of drills. They got these gun units running up and down the travel systems. It's like when you watch that movie, The Children of Men, then people were just, all bombs going off, and then people were just walking casually like nothing's going on. That's what you're going to be. You're so used to. When we went over to Belgium with the Ak, we seen the army just there normally in the streets, and everybody was just used to that. Yeah. So someone gets shot in the broad daylight, you're supposed to just keep walking. You don't understand. See, a lot of you people don't really understand what's going on. But anyway, this was just an update to what's going on down here. Pretty much the any brothers that's in England, just an update there. You probably know. If you don't know, just be vigilant, man. Be spiritual out there. You know, because our guys, Jehovah was shy because Esau out there. You know, Esau's on a war path out there, man. You know, and you know, he's trying to demonize. You know, you with things like this, you got people that be on the trains and they be looking at each other sideways, man. Because they be looking at, you know. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Esau's trying to create, that mood of. You know. You can't trust your next door neighbours and shit. All through his agenda, all through his New World Order. Because a lot of these things, they're setting it up. They're planting the devices. Whether these things, some of them are happening or not. They're the ones setting it up, man. So they can get these troops on the streets, so they can demonize the peoples and get them chipped, RFID, and get this police, get this New World Order system in. Shalom, man.